So yeah, most of us aren't tapped in um, consciously,
Mhm.
consciously tapped in, and it's unfortunate, but I understand that this is where our struggle lies. We haven't been a true collective since the 1970s, and now most of our culture is really revealing itself and its truths through social media, showing us that most of our culture has been formed through reaction
Mhm.
to injustice, reaction to not being included, reaction of not being valued as a human being. So when I think of Black culture, that's what I think. I think of the reaction, the subconscious reaction that's meaning a consciousness, but still light years away from collectively seeing our greatness. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And when I have these opportunities to speak about what I would say to my people to empower themselves, it's, as you can see, it's not just a one winged
Mhm.
conversation. It's so many sides to this, so many wings to this flying entity. You got wings that propel. You got wings that that stretch out. You got wings that tell a turn. I mean, there's so many dynamics about us
Mhm.
that we are getting to know, and the more we get to know it, the more we'll be able to practice it, and the more we practice it, then we become the true we.
Mhm.
The true we. I'll give you an example. The true we. January 6th taught me a lot
Mhm.
about these people that stormed the White House. It taught me a lot about collective,
Mhm.
having one mind and one frequency, just regardless of, well, I shouldn't say regardless, in regards to their hatred towards what they felt was un American, which was really all about America.
Mhm.
And some of them, of course, had their own um, racist ideas about how America should be in terms of keeping America great. But they did it together. You know, they
Mhm.
did that shit together,
Mhm.
and they did what they said it was going to do,
Yeah, and they still are.
and they are still at it.
Mhm.
So I have yet to see that happen with us in my lifetime. I've seen protest. I've seen riots. I've been a part of a riot as well and protest,
Mhm.
but I have yet to see a full force of collectivity where no matter what was going to happen, life or death, we were going to get what we need to get.
Mhm.
And people died during January 6th.
Mhm.
You know, am I here encouraging Black people to do what they did in January 6th? No, I'm not encouraging that.
Mhm.
But I am encouraging the understanding of what truly it looks like to sacrifice. We haven't sacrificed since the 1960s.
Mhm.
And you look at the civil rights movement, which actually ended with people in Brooklyn pulling teachers out of schools because they no longer wanted those white teachers teaching their
Mhm.
Black children. And that was in the 80s. And that was the last impactful legislative change uh, that Black people made on this government, in
Mhm.
this government. You have Martin Luther King, who was able to make changes. And we have yet to do that since then. And so I don't know what they're doing politically, but I just know what I'm doing in in my role, and that is to know these truths,
Mm-hmm.
not live the lies, but know the truths and live the truths.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I accept the truth. You know, there is a place where humanity can come together collectively and work with each other. But in America, there's this ego that states that if we do something, what are we going to get in return?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, no, regardless of the return, we're going to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I said a lot, but I do, when I'm painting, I do hear the voices of my ancestors. I do hear the encouragement of my family. And I do also hear humanity, you know, saying, keep going, brother. Keep doing it because we need it and I
Mm-hmm.
need it, you know? So, yeah, I see now that there's opportunity for change in terms of all of us being empowered
Mm-hmm.
through love, peace, unity, and freedom.
Okay. I totally agree with you. And I feel like, sometimes sometimes things gotta get worse before it get better. So hopefully
Hmm.
we are.
It's worse already.
Yeah, it is. You know what I think though?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna say
listening.
I'm gonna look over the past, like you said, since the 80s.
Yeah, actually,
We
yeah, since the yeah, okay.
we have seen, because we got to a place where we were comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and we felt like we made some progress. You know what I mean? We had some rights. We felt like we got comfortable and we didn't think that we had to fight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that everything was going the direction that we wanted it to go. And now here we are in a place where, hey, you still got to fight. Like,
We were told that we could sit at the table,
mm-hmm,
and we were hyper ambitious about creating a career for ourselves or working for someone to provide for our families. And
mm-hmm,
the same people that disrespected my grandmother, I am now sitting at the desk. You
mm-hmm,
know, so all of those things are relative to the change, but the change of what? It's the change of the economy. Black people
mm-hmm,
are the most hardworking and patriotic human beings in America. The most patriotic. You're talking from the days of bondage to 2025,
mm-hmm,
and there's still a large number of black people in America. That's patriotic.
mm-hmm,
We've been whipped, lynched,
mm-hmm,
raped, separated, and drugged out, strategically drugged out
mm-hmm.
through this government. And we are still here voting, paying taxes, going to Disney World. You know, there's many things that are relative to that change that you're speaking about.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a part of the indoctrination. Like you said,
Right.
we've
So,
been bred
mm-hmm,
to believe that we're the greatest country in the world and
yeah,
that we're the best.
yeah.
And,
And now we don't have to struggle as much.
mm-hmm,
But just like Frederick Douglass said, There's no progress without struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we've progressed through things, but there's still a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? We layer out the struggle. We compare the struggles. No, you don't compare. You don't compare being a slave and get beaten in the head or shot by a cop.
Mm-hmm.
There's no comparison. It only states that it's still the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
So if the body is being battered, if the body is being disregarded, disrespected by the same system, then nothing has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So what has only changed is these opportunities that were given. And if there are opportunities that are given to us, then nothing has changed.
Yeah.
If you can't see my value through my work and my worth, then you're just going to give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain cases where you need to let me have that because there are certain institutions that are not allowing me through the door, which is why we have DEI, you know? So, and DEI is not just used for black people. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of white people got advantages through
Mm-hmm.
DEI, but it's interesting where we are right now in terms of change. I've come to a place of sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I go to a place of
Mm-hmm.
fatalism because I don't see change.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to get back to the code,
Mm-hmm.
and that code is you ain't supposed to be waiting for change.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be creating it.
Yeah.
You know, um, just like this piece I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy on top did a movie called Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a younger version of Spike Lee without the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie had everybody in New York held by the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it spoke a lot of truths about who we are as New Yorkers.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to capture that and teach at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And also see the fatalism of people when they lack compassion,
Mm-hmm.
when they lack understanding, when they feel that they are more gainful by hurting people and killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing the right thing was more of a cry of moralism, you know, cry of uh, uh, um, um, a cry of unity, a cry of economic empowerment,
Mm-hmm.
identity. All those things were relative, and which is why I'm using him as an example, or should I say, the protagonist to these artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a piece on Brooklyn rappers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not from Brooklyn. I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Mm-hmm.
But my father, people will use the term stepfather. We never used
Mm-hmm.
stepfather. His name was Papa Sid.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Brooklyn. And we did more things in Brooklyn than we did in Staten Island as children.
Mm-hmm.
So our exposure to all the culture was just enlightening
Mm-hmm.
creatively. So you're talking about hip hop, although it wasn't born in Brooklyn, it was born in the Bronx. A lot of great artists came from Brooklyn in hip hop. And so I just thought it would be interesting to show what change looks like in terms of the culture of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
What change looks like in terms of the traditions in hip hop. You know, you got the elements of hip hop and you got these principles of hip hop that are now are in question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just in terms of how it's celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
And which is why having a hip hop month show is important just to bring and galvanize the spirit of all of us celebrating a culture that impacted the globe. You know, uh, there's an interesting factor in hip hop
Mm-hmm.
where the masculinity took over hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it actually, let me get a name right. So pause that.
Okay.
So although there's a lot of masculinity in hip hop was started by a little girl named Cindy Campbell.
Stop it. I didn't know that.
Cindy Campbell is the sister of Kool Herc.
Hmm.
And a lot of people would be, I know KRS One would be losing this shit right now. But when you think about the femininity in hip hop, which is creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So creativity is feminine.
Yeah.
So Cindy wanted to have a party and she didn't want to do it in the house. She wanted to do it outside.
Mm-hmm.
She did it outside in the park. The Kool Herc went outside, hooked the system into the light post,
Mm-hmm.
and boom, they had a party. That's when hip hop started.
Wow.
See
You
how that
just
works?
taught
Yeah. Right out there is
so
Cedric.
many people something.
Yes, Cedric. Right
Wow.
there is Cedric.
I wonder, is she still alive?
Yeah, Cindy Campbell's still alive.
Okay.
Much respect to her. But it wasn't, it was done subconsciously. See what I mean?
Right, yeah.
By not consciously tapping in.
Mm-hmm.
It was done subconsciously. That message was sent right on time in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was 11 years old when hip hop started.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at this frequency that was already there,
Mm-hmm.
available and accessible to tap in.
Mm-hmm.
And she did it.
Yes.
Right in the Bronx. And so we had this people coming out, dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, DJ started DJing in the parks.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think that when we continue this journey of appreciating who we are collectively, again, it started with one, but it permeated and filled up this entire globe from one idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if she just didn't say that? You know?
Yeah.
What if it? What would it become if she didn't say that?
Mm-hmm.
So it was right on time in the 70s. If you know anything about New York in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
whew, it was no joke.
Mm-hmm.
It was no joke. Economically, no joke.
Mm-hmm.
People were in pain. People lived in poverty in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that wasn't just New York. That was everywhere.
Yeah, so, 70s
Mm-hmm.
we were getting hit bad.
Yeah.
We was trying to find new ways, but
Mm-hmm.
once again, the hiring of black people
right.
changed all of that.
Mm-hmm.
From 70s to 80s and 90s. And then when we started getting those jobs, and I'm talking about, you're looking at hip hop growing,
Mm-hmm.
when we started getting those jobs and getting those careers, they hit us again. Crack cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And then hip hop went from peace, love, unity, and having fun to
the 90s. F the police.
So you're looking at 80s, right?
All that, yeah.
So the culture, once again, became what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when people say it is what it is, that's where it stayed because we couldn't come out of it. We went from We went from the drug dealer now. So the rapper is now the drug dealer, or the rapper's talking about the drug dealer
and then
money.
When they got to the 2000s, they went from dealing the drugs
to doing the
drugs, and that's where we are now.
So hip hop is not this, like most Dev said.
Yeah.
It's not this giant that's coming out of the woods. You know, it is who we are. We are hip hop. We are the culture.
Right.
If we're selling crack, hip hop is selling crack. You know, I just love how he said that in his shout out to Mos Def. I love you, brother. When he did this Lack on Both Sides, that album, and he did this intro and he talked about hip hop. You know, and that whole album was just a boom bap final call to me. You know, like the Final Call newspaper, Nation of Islam. But yeah, I see this painting paying ode to all these Brooklyn rappers from Brooklyn using Spike Lee as the protagonist. He was not a rapper, but he is a director. Yeah, he was a director that used hip hop a lot. You know, from all his movies actually had references of music, hip hop music, and rappers in his movies. You know, so much respect to Spike Lee. Love you, brother. So yeah. Now again, once again, I'm not from Brooklyn, but I am from Staten Island. I did a whole Wu-Tang concept 2 years ago for hip hop celebration for the 50th year of hip hop. I did it then. So yeah, I'm excited about showing those again. But yeah, man, I'm just sister. Excuse me. Yes, sister. I am. I'm really excited about this show. We're the only ones that are doing it. The only ones that are celebrating hip hop. You know, the only ones that are saying Happy Hip Hop Month. You know,
I'm excited too. I'm coming out. Y'all coming out. Y'all in Augusta. Y'all make sure y'all come out this Sunday to the Treehouse.
And you know, I want to say something about Augusta because we're talking about hip hop, right?
Okay. Yes.
The strangest thing. And I had this conversation a long time ago before with another MC, the art dealer. Much respect to you, brother, but I'm gonna bring it up again. And I said, now how come hip hop didn't start here when you already had the boom bap from Dr. James Brown right here?
Right.
The frequency was already here. Why didn't it start here? So there was a response in terms of if I could remember his response, that people just wasn't on that frequency pretty much in terms of even embracing James Brown. So
yes. Thinking about, if you watch the movie, think about it. Think about when he came here, they didn't even want him to perform here.
Right. So you're looking at the boom bap frequency was already here. So just like the migration of the 1920s, it should have been this migration went to New York City. And you had children that was born out of people that were artists, right? Singers. You know, matter of fact, Ruth Brown, who was also from the South, is the aunt of Rakim, Eric B. Rakim. So that frequency was already there. You know, so I'm looking at this opportunity to speak about the Southern impact on hip hop. I'm not talking about Auto Noise. I'm not talking about Outkast, T.I. I am talking about historically what was the South's impact on hip hop. Now, I could give it away, but as a matter of fact, I will give it away. In February, we're having our Afrofuture show.
Okay.
And that's going to deal with that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to be working with that work soon too. But the South has had an important role in Black culture.
Mm.
You're talking about people that had to suppress their ideas, concepts, because they had to be on the field, whether it was sharecropping or just struggling to feed the families and not being respected. You know, yes, there were definitely Black people from the South that were making it. You know, also there were also entrepreneurs, but a large population of Southerners was hurting.
Right.
So they moved to New York, they moved to West Coast, they moved to LA, Chicago, and those places they were able to build. Matter of fact, all the greatest hustlers in New York City came from the South. You know?
Everybody came from the South.
Yeah.
I mean,
so the roots are there.
Yes.
Right. So you look at hip hop, you're like, why didn't hip hop start there? Well, what we had was blues in the South. That was the hip hop. And blues came from chants, from plantation, songs that were in church that turned into blues, you know. So there's always been the impact of the South. And not being from and born from the South gave me the advantage to see certain things in terms of the geographical dynamic and the demographic dynamic. And being able to open this spot and be able to showcase people's craft within the South has always been a blessing to me. Because I really enjoy seeing and hearing these perspectives. I was just talking to another brother who was in hip hop, and I said, "Yo, you know, the music that comes from the southern regions of hip hop is more tribal than the beats in the north." And he said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "I went to a powwow in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn. Fort Hamilton is an army base. And this powwow was given by the Creek. And they had their tom-toms and their music and their attire, headdress. And if I could demonstrate to you. Yes. And they were moving around. Watch the movement now.
Okay, hold on, wait, hold on.